Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today the movie we're going to be watching is on Hallmark Channel called His and Hers. It is about divorce lawyers that are married and they're both defending opposite sides. It is they're defending a high profile reality couple. So as you can tell, from the preview, it's going to get a little sticky because they're married, but with it being kind of a public divorce like that, they're both defending the opposite sides there. So it's going to be very interesting to see because apparently it messes with them as well, of course. And Lacey Chabert, Brendan Elliott, I love them together. So you just know it's going to be good. So let's just see what kind of dynamic and conflict that gets into. So if you're going to watch it with me, which is going to be so fun. Right now, it says Hallmark Media Presents and it's pictured the Statue of Liberty. So that's what I have it paused on. So I'm going to count it down and then we can watch it together and talk about it. So, all right, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, His and Hers is up on the screen now. And they are just showing the previews of the beginning. All right. New York with all the taxis, I'm sure. All right, let's see. So they're both doing their lawyer thing with each individual clients. I guess this is the celebrity couple we're looking at. Ooh, she just poured water on him. Of course you do. Your husband's cheating on you with your assistant, your best friend. Oh no. Oh snap. Woo! Hello. Oh, now they want to take her pictures and she's all angry. Oh yeah. Okay. Starting right off. All right, now we're going to see the main characters, which are Dana and Mark, the lawyers, oh, it's your anniversary. Piles on chairs. Ooh, no cell phones at the table. Mm-hmm. Hmm. So they're having dinner for their anniversary. They've been married 7 years. Ooh, present time. Okay. So she got wool socks and he got a copper pot. Which doesn't sound romantic, but they made it sound romantic. Saying best years are yet to come. Okay. Phone at the table because they got new clients coming in tomorrow morning. And they're toasting. All right, let's see. Next morning, their clients are coming in. Oh, yeah. Hmm. All right, so Dana, Lacey Chabier's character, is gonna defend Tabby, which is the woman or the wife of the. So that must mean that Mark is gonna defend the husband. Ooh, she cheated on me with my best friend. So I'm basically going to want everything. But the main thing is, I want him to hurt. She, yeah. And of course, now Mark is going into the office. All right, now he's going to meet with the husband. Ooh, okay. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Okay. Oh my goodness, these people are terrible. So their clients, the reality stars, are making statements on national news. Oh no, they're making statements in the press. Oh boy. So they don't know about each other's case yet. Talking about Christmas, whose family's going where? So she gives him a present of something he's been looking for. So they're very happy, lovey-dovey right now. Oh, he got her a gift too. Let's see. Oh, he just got her the popcorn. Ha! That's cute. So they're on the TV watching a movie. All right, so they're just showing how of a happy couple they are. And here we go. She's going to Tabby's house. Basically telling Mark that he has dirt on his ex Tabby, but Tabby's saying she doesn't have any skeletons in her closet. This is not starting out well. So she just got served. She took a and the man took a picture of it. All right, so Brett's been served too. So they both have been served. So they both have to appear. Oh wow, he's made another video. Ooh. She's finding out Mark is the attorney representing the husband. She's just now finding this out. So they're both going to stay on as attorneys, I guess. All right, so they said they're both going to keep their clients and they're going to try to make this a clean, swift divorce. But we'll see. All right, now they're going to have their first meeting. All right, they're going to see if they can do it. So we're going to see. So basically, they're reality stars. According to Tabby, Tabby's the wife, Brett is the husband. They're the ones getting the divorce. So Brett was cheating on her with her best friend / assistant. She basically goes into the restaurant, sees that, they're holding hands and touchy-feely. So she throws the drink on his face. It's in a video. And now they're both posting videos. And they've both been served. Brett was served in the gym. She was served at home, but both of the lawyers were there. So they've both been served papers, but they're making a lot of statements to the press. So obviously, as the lawyers, Dana and Mark are like, let's not do that. They are married. So, they're like, should we give it to other attorneys? And they're like, no, we can do this. It's going to be swift. It's going to be amicable. We're going to see what happens. So here we go. She doesn't want it to go to court, but they're basically saying it's probably going to be. All right. Both of them want everything, so. Okay, so he's talking to Brett in the gym, of course, because that's where he always is. Okay. We are in a meeting. Assets? He wants to keep everything. So she says, "Do you always look like a suit? Try something from my designer line." So she's trying to give her a dress to look at. Aw. Okay. She wants everything. She thinks he's holding something back. So she's asking what it is. Aw. He wants to revisit the idea of having children. So he's telling her he's ready to have children now. Aw. Let's see what Dana says. So before they got married, they kind of put a pin in having children. It's been 7 years and he's ready and he wants to tell her, "I'm ready to start having children." So both of them are going to be on a talk show, and the partners want both of the lawyers there. So now both of them are coming together to represent their clients. So now they're on the radio. Ooh, all right. Ooh, all right. So Tabby's being called cold and angry. So now they're having Dana turn it around, change her image. So she's going to call in. We're going to see. Oh, she's calling on the radio station, taking live calls. Ooh. She's pretending to be somebody else to look her look. Ooh. She got caught. Her husband saw her pretending to be a fake caller. Okay, well, so basically, they decided to be impartial, and just try to do a swift divorce. But they're on this radio show, and he's kind of, making her look bad. And one of the partners or her boss is calling Dana saying, hey, she's looking like cold and angry. You need to fix her image. So she pretends to be a radio caller and calls in and basically in a fake accent basically says, he cheated on you with your best friend and your assistant. And, you're a role model to me that you're staying strong and trying to get through this after you got your heart broken. And of course, Tabby doesn't know who it is. So she's like, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. But Mark catches her and is like, hey, you're pretending to be a caller now? I thought we were supposed to be impartial. She's like, I am, but, I had pressure. And then before she could really defend herself or say anything, they get an alert that they have their arbitration date and it's in 2 days. So basically they're both defending the husband and wife in this divorce that's very public. They both want everything. They both want to make the other one pay, basically, in pain. So, they both have a lot of property. He has 3 cars. They have 2 houses / apartments in different locations. So it's going to be interesting. They don't want to budge. They both want everything. And they want the other one to pay, basically, in a nutshell. So, and they're not listening to their lawyers at all. They're, right now they're on that radio show. They're making statements. They're posting videos of themselves. So they're not really listening to their lawyers. And it's obviously becoming a conflict for Mark and Dana, which is Brendan Elliott and Lacey Chabert. So they're trying to kind of keep their clients in line, so to speak. And trying not to have rift between them. They're trying to make sure they're doing it civil. But it's definitely getting sticky. So I think it's definitely interesting and kind of funny so far. So, it can only get worse. You know how tabloids are. So I'm sure, it's going to get a little stickier. So let's keep watching and see what's going on. So, definitely, like I say, definitely interesting so far. Let's see what's going on next. Right now, there's just commercials on, so we are just waiting for that to come back. But I hope you're enjoying the movie. It is definitely fun to be able to watch a movie with somebody for sure. So, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, liking, subscribing, just watching the movie with us. So, definitely fun. I'm sure there's going to be some funny scenes coming up because they are not listening at all to what they're telling them. They're just, doing their own thing. They want it all. They want them to pay. And that's pretty much all. So it's going to be interesting if they can talk to the ex-best friend or the ex-assistant and see what she has to say, because I have a feeling she's going to come into play. Don't know, if she's going to defend Brett or if she's just going to, kind of vanish and kind of hide away. Because I feel like when a celebrity is caught cheating, the person they cheat on with either jumps out in the media and wants their story heard, wants their 15 minutes of fame, or they kind of, hide away and don't want to have anything to do with either one of them now that it's out in the open. So it'll be interesting to see, if she comes into play at all, or what her role is in the movie. But here we go. Let's get back to it. All right, so they are at home together. All right, so they're going to talk case. Going to talk work. So they're going to talk about the case in a loving manner here. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. They're not talking about the case. They're talking about their relationship on whether they want to have a baby. Sorry about that. He says he's ready to have children. Aww. So she wants kids, but I don't think she wants them right now. So I think she's a little hesitant. He's trying to convince her, like, hey, you know, this is something we want together. She's saying she's a little scared. So she's saying, why don't we compromise? Why don't we get a dog? And so she gives him a present, and it's a dog leash with the name Oliver on it. So that's what she would name her hypothetical dog, I guess. So Mark's in his office. So he's trying to find Gwen, the woman Brett cheated on with, I believe. Nobody's been able to find her, so that's what I was saying before. Sometimes they want to be in the media, sometimes they don't. So I guess she's kind of MIA. All right, so now they're meeting. Celebrity couple and the two lawyers. They said keep it civil. We'll see how that goes. Ooh. They're on arbitration, so they have a mediator. Ooh. Okay, they both want the house. Oh, okay. So they're not agreeing on anything. Okay, so he's basically saying, so the mediator is saying, you're not agreeing on anything, control your clients, you can't. And basically he's saying you're going to court because they're not agreeing. But Dana doesn't do well with public speaking. She doesn't normally do court, so she's a little nervous, but they're not agreeing. So the mediator is like, you're going to court. All right, so she's meeting with her client, and her client's basically saying Brett was hiding money. He was playing in Vegas. And now they found Gwen, so she's going to go find him. Now, Brett is saying she's hiding money. So we'll see. So he found Gwen, so it looks like they're both going to find her. Okay, well, they found her, but she's not talking to anybody. So Gwen is basically on the phone with somebody, and she's saying they're both here. She said, yes, I'll leave out the back. So Tabby is leaving, or Gwen is leaving. So Gwen left. So basically, Gwen ran away. And they're saying, can this get any more complicated? So we'll find out if it can. So the twist is Gwen was on the phone with somebody. And she said, yeah, they're both here. And then you just hear Gwen say, all right, I'll leave out the back. So she's leaving. So this makes me think Gwen's got something up her sleeve. Also, the scene where Dana was like, who are they meeting with? And they're like, oh, some exec from Reality Real, I guess, some reality show. And then the same thing happened in Mark's office where it's like, who's he meeting with? Somebody from Reality Real. So that makes me think they're in the works. Gwen maybe is signing her story to somebody, paparazzi, I don't know. And it's going to involve I don't know. Involve the lawyers, I don't know, but it's definitely interesting. So when I said they were going to talk about the case at home, they were really talking the case of him and hers, about having a baby. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I think Gwen is going to be that factor, because is she going to side with Brent, or is she going to say, okay, I cheated, with Brent. Now Brent and I are a couple, because I've seen that happen with celebrities. So you really just don't know. But either way, both Dana and Mark, they want to get a hold on Gwen. They want to at least talk to her, find out information, see where she stands, see where, kind of her opinion. And they kind of just need to talk to her so that they can move forward. Neither one of them want to go to court. Apparently Dana, in the show, in the movie, it has a fear of public speaking, so she really doesn't want to go to court. I don't think Mark wants to go to court either, probably just so that they can settle, because obviously that's easier. But I think Dana actually has a fear of public speaking, so that's kind of outlining why she doesn't want to go either. But neither one can agree on anything, so it's clear at least what they're setting up, that they are definitely going to be going to court. So that's going to be interesting to be able to see that, just kind of how well they do in court, because obviously this is going to get messy. Like I said, I want to see how Gwen figures into it. But it's going to be interesting to see for sure. So, definitely a good movie. I love that there's still, we're going to figure this out. But at some point it's going to have to get sticky. You know what I mean? Because they're going to go against each other in court. But what else can come up? She thinks that he's hiding money. He's going to Vegas. He's spending. And Dana's like, are you sure he's not just losing money? Are you sure you're thinking he's hiding money somewhere? And then Brett says the same thing to Mark. Like, hey, she's got extra money somewhere. She's hiding it. So they both kind of feel like they're hiding money from each other. They've talked about two two residences. They said, okay, we're going to sell this one and split the profit. And they're like, no, I want it. No, I want it. And then they said the other resident, one person's going to live in it and the other one's going to buy each other out. And they're like, no, I want to live in it. I want to live in it. So they're not really agreeing on anything. So that's kind of why they're like, it's going to court. You refuse to give in on anything. So we're going to have a judge decide. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to see what the judge says, I guess. So definitely a good movie. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. So right now we're just watching the commercials. Hopefully you're liking the movie too, kind of seeing where that conflict lies and, what's going to happen next. So I think that's going to be really interesting. I'm just watching these commercials so that we can get back to the show here. All right, just a few more minutes. But I like the dynamic, married lawyers defending different people. So definitely think that's interesting, take on it. So definitely want to wait and see what's happening there. All right. Should be coming back on now. All right, here we go. So she's going to look into whether she has hidden money somewhere. They both wanted to do a background check on their lawyers. So So the reality reel is just asking where it's going because they're getting a lot of money off reruns because they're in a reality show. So that's kind of what they were asking. So basically Mark is saying he got his background check too. Oh, good. Okay. So he's looking at the financials of Tabby, but Gwen called. So they want the brand to be safe. So that's why Reality Reel was there, because they have reruns of the show and they want to make sure, his image isn't tainted. So they saw both lawyers. But Gwen called Brett's office, lawyer, and wants to meet with her. So that's going to be interesting. So it looks like Gwen is resurfacing. So he is going to meet Gwen. Now, they both got served papers and they assumed it was a background check that that the lawyer said they would do on them. Or I'm sorry, Brett and Tabby said they would do on them. So he's going to meet now, but they're looking at that paper. And Mark is meeting with Gwen, but she's late, so he's going to look at this background check that was sent to him. But he grabbed Dana's instead of his. All right, so Dana's friend is basically trailing Gwen, and Gwen's obviously meeting with Mark. So she's taking pictures, but she can't see the man, which is obviously Mark. So we'll see. All right. Mm. So she just served her with papers while he was meeting with Mark. All right, so she got subpoenaed, which is what Dana wanted, but not what Mark wanted. So Dana was trailing her. Okay, yeah, here's some conflict. Woo woo! Okay, interesting. So they got each other's background checks, and obviously there was some little skeletons in their closets. So they just basically had a big hash out on what was in their background checks and stormed off. And then they came back and they're like, "We don't do this. I'm so sorry." All right, so whew, they're saying no court. We're gonna take a deep breath. We're going to arbitration tomorrow. Gwen's gonna be there. We're gonna hash everything out. It's gonna be good. Definitely no court. I told you Dana, I guess, has a scared of public speaking. So we'll see. Oh, so their clients are not wanting to be civil. So Mark's telling them, like, you don't want to go to court. It's the same thing Dana's telling Tabby, but we'll see. The mediator is back, arbitration. Gwen didn't show up, family emergency. So they're saying after talking to their lawyer, each of them want to go to court. So that was not expected. So basically, they're like, look, you don't want to go to court. You want to hash this out. Are you going to be civil with Tabby? No. Are you going to be civil with Brett? No. So then he comes in and they're like, where's Gwen? Family emergency. Basically, she just bailed. And the mediator was like, okay, so looks like you're going to court. Both of you guys say you want to go to court. So then it went to a commercial. So there was a little spat between Dana and Mark, but apparently, they kind of bloated, blot everything out. Okay, this was what happened, and they came back and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I love you," blah blah blah. So now they're still together, trying to make this work with the divorce. So, I'm sure there's going to be another conflict between Dana and Brett because they're, opposing lawyers, and something else is going to come up. But they kind of just hashed it out and then patched it up right away. So, I don't know how this is going to turn out with a divorced couple. I was looking forward to seeing Gwen because, like I said, I want to see her side of the story. I think that's going to be kind of what's going to happen with her coming out is kind of going to show which way it's going to go. So we really have no idea how she feels or where she's going to go. We just saw her in the very first scene in the movie, holding hands and kind of being lovey-dovey with Brett. And then we saw the one scene where she was on the phone and says, "Yeah, they're both here. I'm leaving out the back." And then when she's meeting with Mark in the restaurant, she didn't really say much before she was served with papers. So we really don't know, is she, does she really like Brett? Was this a stunt? Does she want to stay friends with Tabby? We don't know anything about Gwen. All we know is the divorced couple does not get along. They want to make each other pay. They want each other to be in pain, and they don't want to split anything. So it's going to be interesting to see, what they do with the divorce proceedings. But I still think that wild card is Gwen. I want to see what Gwen has to say. So, but it's definitely a cute movie. I love the way Dana and Mark are kind of like, "Oh, we love each other. We're going to get through this." And then they kind of get agitated with each other because of their clients. And then they come back together, make up again. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And the children, they both want children. Mark says he's ready. Dana says she's not. Why don't we try a dog? So she gets a collar with the name Oliver, and Mark's like, "You want a dog named Oliver?" And she's like, "Sure." So I think, that's going to be a little bit of tension, but it seems like they have such a good relationship. I don't see any of that getting in the way, but we'll see what happens. So, like I said, the dark horse, the wild card here is Gwen on what she's going to say, because that's really going to decide. And since she was served, she's got a subpoena, but the subpoena was to appear in arbitration, not in court. So, she didn't show up for arbitration, so we still don't know her side of the story. And it does seem like she's laying low, like I mentioned. So it's going to be interesting to see what side she takes. So, because if she really was dating Brett, like she just stopped suddenly, which, like I said, in real life that happens too. They don't want to be a part of the spotlight. But you have to get their side of the story. So, but I do like it. I think they're playing the lawyers well. But we're about halfway through now, so we really got to see how they're going to start taking sides and how this is going to play. So let's see. Let's get back into it. Coming back on now. All right. Let's see here. And we're back. So Dana's in the office. She wants to get off the case because she doesn't want to go to court. So she's saying, "I believe in you. Tabby needs you, so I want to keep you on the case." So we're going to see. So they're going to have a gala to the firm, and she's saying, I want you to bring Brett, and I want you to bring Mark, and I want Mark to bring Brett. And I want you to bring Tabby. So she wants, Dana's boss wants her to bring her client and Mark to bring his client. So gonna be interesting because they're gonna clash for sure. And we're gonna see. Ooh, okay. Okay. So they're saying to Mark, like, look, you need to go in there and get it done against Dana. You can make partner, but you got to win this case, basically. True. Are you ready to be parents? Is anybody ever ready? No. The answer is no. So, all right. So they're still, getting along great. They're talking about the baby stuff. She looks at his phone, sees that he's tracking Gwen. Doesn't say anything to him. All right, they both leave their separate ways. Except she doesn't go her separate ways. She's following him because he's following Gwen. Well, tracking her. So she's following him while he's tracking down Gwen. He's seeing Gwen. So he just met with her for a couple minutes. Don't know what they said. Met Gwen in a coffee house. Now she's going to go talk to Gwen. Oh, snap. What just happened? What just happened? Ooh. Okay, she just talked to Tabby, dropped an invoice. She wants to run background on Gwen now. So Gwen just gave her some pieces of information, some little nuggets. Very interesting. So let's see what happens next. She's now at home. Mark's coming home. She apparently loves flowers, orchids in particular. He admits to seeing Gwen. Okay. Mm-hmm. So their court date's set, which is typically months, but it's next week. So their court date's next week, so we'll see. All right, so basically, he saw Gwen, and Dana saw him and kind of, watched him. And then after he left, she spoke with Gwen, and Gwen basically said, look, this isn't the way it was supposed to be, And Dana's like, why don't you support your friend of 20 years? She says, this isn't what it's supposed to be. You tell Gwen to pay up. I can't even afford my apartment anymore. So Dana's like, wait, what? What do you mean you want her to pay up? What do you mean? So then she left in a hurry, dropped some papers. Dana picked up one that said invoice, and then she called and says, hey, let's do a background check on Gwen, check her financials. So, like I say, Gwen's kind of like that wild card. Things aren't always what they seem. So, she hasn't really talked to Brett. Nobody's seen her around Brett. She hasn't been around her She hasn't really been around Tabby either. So, that's why I say I want to find out what she has to say. So what she said with Mark, we don't know. Mark told, Dana later, hey, she said she's willing to help us both out. But basically what she said to Dana was, hey, this isn't the way it was supposed to go down. I'm not supposed to be the bad person here in this scenario. I will be if I have to. And Dana was like, what do you mean you will be if you have to? Like, what scenario? What are you talking about? You just tell Tabby to pay up. I can't pay my rent. So that seems like there's some kind of scandal going on there, or Tabby is setting something up, or she owes Gwen money for, I don't know. I mean, the obvious conclusion, or what they want you to believe, is maybe this is all fake. But we don't know that, you know what I mean? Like I say, a lot of times in movies, what they want you to think is like a red herring. I love mysteries. I'm really big on, you're going to watch this. This is a red herring. This is what they want you to believe. It's not the real thing. So, kind of feel the same way here. What does Gwen mean by that? She says, I don't have to, I'm not the bad guy. I don't want to be the bad guy. So, and what money is she talking about? Tabby owes her some money. Let's figure out what that's about. And what did she say to Mark? All Mark said was that she's willing to help us, both of us. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like I say, she's a wild card. I'm really interested in what she has to say. And then the thing about hiding the money. Brett thinks Tabby's hiding money. Tabby thinks Brett's hiding money. So, I mean, who's hiding money? And if she's supposed to pay Gwen, that's going to be, she's going to have to hide that money, right? Because, I mean, obviously Brett's going to look at Tabby's financials. So if she's got some kind of side hustle going with Gwen, or she's going to be paying her off, it's going to have to be in some secret account. You know what I mean? Or it'd be too obvious. So that's going to be interesting. Like I say, that's kind of what I want to find out. So we still got a little bit left of the movie. So definitely interesting to see what's going on. And then these little side conversations are about Mark and Dana having kids, which I think is kind of sweet. And of course, I picked up on the little Easter eggs from previous movies, which I'm sure, if you're a fan of Lacey Chabert and Brendan Elliott, I'm sure you've probably, are listening to them or picking up on the little, I guess, hints of previous movies. They said of the previous movies. So you have All My Heart, and they're talking about a little house with the goat, and they all refer to older movies that they were in together. So they are great friends on and off set. So I think it's interesting, that they have little one-liners that kind of hint at the other movies they've acted in together. So I thought that was kind of cute. And yes, I definitely picked up on those, which I'm sure you probably have too if you're a Hallmark fan of those actors and actresses of them. So hopefully we will get right back into the movie here and see what's going on. But definitely interesting to see, how it's going to play out. Maybe they'll get back together in the end. Who knows? It could just be a publicity stunt. You just never know with celebrities. So, and it's, they've been together 16 years. So, they've been married 10 years. So they've been in the reality TV the whole time. So it's going to be interesting, definitely, to see where this goes. But yeah, definitely enjoying the movie. I hope you are too. Hopefully we'll be getting back into it here in a minute. See what's going on. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Mmm. Okay. So Mark's finding out some information about Tabby. Hmm. Hmm. So they're having dinner. Hmm. All right. Well, court is soon, next week. Hmm. 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 She's trying to get him ready for court. Now he's trying to get him ready for court. Hmm. 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 Okay, well that seemed kind of intuitive. So basically, he talked to his lawyer, which is Mark, and Mark's trying to prep him for court, and he's basically, working out. Of course, he's in the gym. That's the only place he seems to ever want to be in the whole movie. But and they're basically talking about prenups, like you didn't sign a prenup, and he's like, well, of course I didn't, because when you go into a marriage, you're not thinking of a prenup. And Mark's like, well, I have a prenup, and he's like, well, why? So they kind of talked about that, and Mark was like, well, I didn't want a prenup, she did. And then Tabby is talking to Dana about, kids. Do you want kids? And she kind of has this heart to heart with Dana, saying, yeah, I've always wanted kids, but to be honest, I'm a little scared that it's going to change things. And they're like, well, yeah, of course it's going to change things. And, you're worried that you're going to be a good mom. Everybody feels that way. So it seems like they kind of had heart to hearts. One about the prenup, not really that personal. And then Dana and Tabby were kind of talking about how she was trying to have a child, but couldn't, and had some, difficulties. And 3 million people knew about it because she has these followers. So that was kind of a heart to heart. So not really sure what that meant for the movie purposes. If anything, it's just letting Dana and Brett kind of think about it. Where they stand in their relationship, if they want to have a child, how they're going to cut back on their career, how they're going to afford it. And a child definitely... I know from experience a child can definitely change your circumstances, but for the better, right? Most people say being a parent is the best thing in the world. So it is going to affect you financially. It is going to affect you emotionally, physically. But I think, that's kind of what Tabby was saying. Well, yeah, it's been a struggle, me trying to get pregnant, but I still want to have children. And, it's just one of those things I've always wanted to do. So I think, maybe that's helping Dana's decision. Hers is mainly, I'm scared. It's going to change things, whether I'm going to be a good mom. But, when you have a baby, your body automatically knows what to do, right? Because, our bodies are built that way. So I feel like it's the same thing when you become a parent. You kind of... it comes naturally to you, you love that child, and you make it work. It is a magical thing. So I think what Tabby was saying kind of made Dana think, okay, maybe this is the right time to have a child. So maybe they'll talk about it again. I don't know. They didn't really talk about Gwen. I still think she's a wild card. I still want to see how she plays out in the movie. And sees what happens with that, because basically they're trying to get their clients ready for court. Court is just in a couple of days. Dana is still very nervous. She kind of has that fear of public speaking. She doesn't want to go up in court. Mark, on the other hand, it looks like she was more in family law. So I apologize. At the beginning of the movie, I thought they were both divorce lawyers. Apparently, Mark is. She's more family law. She doesn't really go to court a lot. So Mark kind of has the advantage. He has more of experience being in front of a judge in a courtroom. She's obviously done it, I guess, since she's a lawyer, but she usually stays out of the spotlight and likes to settle and not go into court. So she is definitely more vulnerable and more worried about the actual court scene. And going in front of a judge and speaking. So since public speaking is not her strong suit, she kind of has a fear of it. So with that, I think Mark has the advantage. However, they both found out some things. Mark found out that Tabby is a very savvy businesswoman, and that she might be printing money. Where? Offshore accounts? Who knows? So that's interesting about Tabby. And then Dana found out that Brett... doesn't just gamble. He is a huge winner. So he makes a lot of money from gambling. So he's really good at it. So is he hiding the money somewhere? So Dana and Mark both kind of have something up their sleeve about the other. is she a savvy businesswoman? Where is she hiding all of this? Is she printing her own money, offshore accounts? He's winning these big winnings in Vegas and gambling and really good at it. Where is he putting all his money? So I feel like if they go to court, they both kind of have something on the other. But like I said, it's going to be interesting on how they portray that in court. And of course, like I said, the wild card, Gwen, is she going to come up? What's she going to say? And how is that going to play out? So let's get back to it. Yee. All right, here we go. This is the gala they're both being invited to. So we're going to see if they have some blow up scene or what. Hoping for a reconciliation, but I have a feeling it's going to go the opposite way. So we shall see. So she's doing a check on Gwen. She found out some interesting information. So, we shall see. Court's tomorrow. Oh, he made it. He's at the gala. He is looking spiffy. right, so they're both at the gala to support cancer research. Uh-oh. They're talking. Oh, they're flirting. Are they going to get back together? Oh, okay. Both of their assistants are telling them something. Oh, they're both hiding millions from each other. All right, so they started flirting, and then all of a sudden they started blowing up and yelling at each other, saying it's all about you. It's all about you. You weren't even invited. And he was like, I was invited. I got an email. So they get to the gala, and they kind of see each other, and they're like, oh, a little flirtatious. And then all of a sudden they start arguing, and they have to be separated. But while they were flirting, Mark found out from his assistant that Tabby does have a lot of businesses that she's not claiming. So she's got millions of dollars that she's keeping on offshore accounts. So he's like, okay, so she's hiding millions from Brett. I can use that in court tomorrow. And then Dana's assistant pulls her aside and says, hey, we just got the financials, and Brett has huge gambling winnings, millions internationally. So basically, both of them, Brett and Tabby, have millions of dollars potentially that they're hiding from each other. So Mark is probably going to use it in court, saying that Tabby has several businesses making millions, hiding it in offshore accounts. And then, of course, Dana can say, well, Brett, he is a big gambler, and he is hiding all of his winnings from all of his gambling internationally in offshore accounts. So apparently they both are making millions of dollars on the side, hiding it from each other. And so we're going to see what comes to light. What we didn't see was how Gwen got her money. So the assistant for Dana came to her and says, hey, we found out about Gwen too. She just bought a house a couple of days ago in cash. So Dana's like, that doesn't make sense. When I saw Gwen last week, she said for Tabby to pay up, and basically, she couldn't even pay her rent. She was so broke she couldn't pay her rent. So now all of a sudden she has cash to pay for a house. So who's giving her that money? Did she get it from Tabby? Did she get it from Brett? Who gave her that money? How did she have money to buy a house? So I said early on, Gwen is that wild card. She hasn't really spoken. Are they going to subpoena her? Are they going to find out, what is going on with Gwen? So basically, both of them supposedly are hiding money overseas, millions of dollars. I think what we might come up with in the end is that it's a scam. I think what we might come up with the end is Brett and Tabby, their reality show is kind of I don't know, on the fall basically, and maybe they doing this as a huge publicity stunt. Maybe they just want to get more viewership, maybe just kind of stir up the pot. Maybe their reality show was running a little stale. So that's always a twist. I feel like they're kind of setting it up to maybe they're faking it. Maybe they really are still together and they're faking this, so that they can draw it out, get in the news again, make themselves relevant, so to speak. We've heard that term, oh, you're just trying to stay relevant. So maybe that's what their plan is in the end. And maybe Gwen was just supposed to make it look like they were having an affair. She was supposed to get caught on purpose. And maybe that's what this payout is that she's talking about, that Tabby owes her money. So I don't know. Maybe it's legit, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm just throwing out scenarios of what could possibly be the issue. Because why are they bringing up that they're both hiding money? And what is this going on with Gwen? I don't want to be the bad person, but I will be. So basically she's saying either you pay me what you owe me or I'll come out and expose something, is kind of what it sounds like. So, but who knows? Who knows? There's still some time left in the movie to kind of hash out, what's really going on. So, let me know what you think, because I'm definitely, curious to see how the movie's going to end. I'm curious to see, what they're going to say in court, what they're going to say about the so-called hidden money, what Brett's going to say, what Tabby's going to say. If somehow Gwen can come into court, and say her side of the story, I think that would be interesting too. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, because I want to see, how that plays out. So it's definitely going to be interesting, kind of what happens next. So this gala is the night before. So court is tomorrow. So let's see what happens in court and see kind of like, do they go at each other? And what they each say, because obviously they're going to ask Brett and they're obviously going to ask Tabby about this money. So, but Gwen is the wild card. I want to see what happens with Gwen for sure. So, all right, let's get back in it. Here we go. All right, so they got court in the morning, basically saying good luck. We're going to do well. At the end of the day, you're still a married couple. Good luck in court. See you there. All right, here it is. All right, here we are in court. Here we go. All right, here we go. Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay. All right. She asked for a recess. She's going to go look at the property Gwen bought, which is what she's a wild card, man. I knew it. Woo, she found Gwen. Here we go. Told ya. This is going to be good. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. They don't look happy. Ooh, okay. Aww. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I didn't see that coming. Still want to know the wild card Gwen, but we'll see. Uh-oh. What? Oh, my goodness. Told you. It was a setup. Knew it. So now they're going back to Gwen, the wild card. Knew it. I knew it. All right, so nailed it. Okay, so I just had a feeling something else was going on. So that's what I was at. That's kind of what I was saying earlier. If the reality show has been stalemate, which Gwen just confirmed that the reality shows weren't really selling, they were kind of in the, in going downhill, I guess, in ratings. So they concocted this scheme to kind of drum up business, so to speak, to be relevant, to get back in the news. So, which they did, obviously. And they made the lawyers look bad. So in the end, when they were like, it was the lawyers who were pushing us for a divorce, I was like, yeah, no, this is all part of the ploy. So yeah, they never really wanted to get a divorce at all. They were just trying to hype it up for the paparazzi, for the magazine, for publicity, and basically to start this new show. So yeah, I kind of, towards the end, I was kind of thinking that, especially when she said, tell Tabby to pay up, I don't want to be the bad guy, but I will. So basically what she was saying was like, look, I'm writing this out because you're paying me, and I don't want to be the bad guy. I'm just laying low until this all kind of goes through. So basically, yeah, Gwen just confirmed to them, yep, it was all a ruse, which I was kind of suspecting towards the end because it just wasn't adding up. So, I love mysteries. So if there's ever a new mystery movie coming on, definitely comment. Let me know. I will watch it with you. We will review. We will rate it. So I always kind of have that mystery in my mind. So I was like, all right, Gwen's a wild card. What's going on? There's some kind of secondary plot going on. So they're not really hiding money as much as I guess they're kind of stalemate with the reality shows. So they have to come up with a new plan, a new gimmick to get ratings, to get people to watch. So kind of had that feeling towards the end, like, all right, this is something they're, because, I mean, they weren't acting very well, which they're great actors in the movie. In the movie, they're supposed to be bad actors, and they did that well. They portrayed being bad actors to show, you know what I mean, that they were kind of faking it. So, so it's definitely interesting. There's still a little bit of time left in the movie, so I don't know if this is going to be Mark and Dana, deciding on where they want to live and if they want to have a baby, or if the last couple minutes is going to be like them exposing the couple, like, hey, they made all of this up just for publicity, or, how they're going to wrap that up. If they're just going to be, okay, just like Gwen said, your firms were paid, I was paid, they got their new reality show, all is well, let it go. Or if they're gonna like expose them for, hey, you hurt our reputations, and this was all fake. So still kind of a little like, how are they gonna end the movie? What are they gonna say? So this is gonna be interesting on kind of how they ended. But yeah, I kind of got that feeling. So they wanted Gwen to look like the bad person, but she really wasn't. She was just kind of a pawn in their whole game. So it's going to be interesting to see, what is Mark and Dana going to do? Are they just going to let it go? Or are they going to try to expose them for being fake? But definitely, definitely interesting to see that. So let's just see how this plays out here. Hopefully in a couple minutes, we'll be going back to the show. And we'll see if they're going to do anything about it. Some of these commercials are long. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Let's finish up this commercial and see what we do to the end here. All right. But maybe this wasn't a good way to end it, because if Mark and Dana were kind of looking in all their finances, I don't think that's a good stunt. As part of a divorce lawyer is obviously going to look at the finances of the opposing um, side. So maybe not a good thing in the end. I don't know. We will see if this comes out to bite them. All right. Hopefully, we're going to be getting back to the show here. Nope, another commercial. Um, but yeah, I definitely think it was interesting to see. They needed to stir up all that publicity so they could be relevant again and get in the news so that people will want to watch their new reality show. So let's see. Here we go. Finally back at it for the conclusion. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Whew. All right. Plot twist. I'm liking this. So they are going to try to expose them. Is that Mark and Dana are out. So let's see what happens. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Mm. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be good. Let's see. Woohoo! my goodness. Wow. Definitely like that twist. Okay. Oh, what are the other plans? 1 year later. That's adorable. Aw, she's pregnant. Yay. Ah, all right. All right. It just ended. Yay. All right. So, I hope you enjoyed watching, just like I did. So now that the movie's over, let's do our review. So it is time. Let's just discuss. Let's talk it out. We'll do our review, do my little gen rating. So let's talk. How did you like the movie? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? So first off, I love Lacey and Brent. I think they're wonderful. I love them acting together. They're great friends on and off the set, and I think that really comes across. You can tell that they genuinely like and care for each other. So any movie with the two of them in it is always going to be good. I liked this movie a lot because I feel like it had a little bit of a different dynamic than some of their movies, because there was more conflict. I guess every movie technically has conflict in it at some point, to make a plot. But I liked this one. It was a little different. And I really liked them being on opposing sides, so to speak. And then not really the mystery of it, but trying to unravel things. So I really enjoyed it. I really liked the different aspects of, okay, well, like I kept calling her the wild card. What's going on with Gwen? What has she got to say? Is she going to side with Brett? Is she going to side with Tabby? Is it all fake? Was she doing that on purpose? So what was her end game? You know what I mean? She was kind of hiding away. So I always kind of like that when I'm watching something, because it's anticipating towards an end or what's going on. And then when you finally do listen to her speak for only a couple minutes with Dana, she's like, tell Tabby to pay up. I don't want to be the bad guy. I will be the bad guy. And so we're like, what do you mean she will be the bad guy? What's she going to expose? What does she know? What does she know that she's not telling us? So there's a little bit of that in suspense and finding out what's going on. So you can kind of tell while we were watching the movie, I'm always trying to figure out, my mind's going. My mind's racing. My mind's going on what's going on. So towards the end, I was kind of suspecting maybe they were faking it the whole time. And it turns out they were. And then since there was still 10 minutes left in the movie, we were thinking, are they going to walk away? Because Mark and Dana are, those characters where they're nice. They're not going to go out and expose them. The little twist I saw at the end was when they talked to their bosses, they were like, yeah, we knew. And I was like, oh, was not expecting that at all. So they knew, but they played along because they were still getting paid. And they didn't think it would hurt them. Obviously, in the end, it hurt Dana and Mark's reputation a little bit. That's why they were like, hey, it's fraud. We got to do something. And they were like, well, we know. We didn't really think it would hurt your reputations, but we were aware. So I thought that was a little, wrench thrown into at the end. But I didn't think it was necessarily like, a bad thing, but it was just kind of unexpected that they kind of knew about it. Loved Gwen coming in on the end with her fake husband, exposing them. I'm assuming what was in the pieces of paper, the envelopes, were background checks. They gave Tabby Brett's background check, and they gave Brett Tabby's background check. I'm assuming similar to what happened with Mark and Dana. So, and I'm assuming that's going to show all the hidden money. So I like that. I'm all for getting what you deserve. Karma, so to speak. So I feel like, in the end, I did like that. I liked that little twist. I was like, yeah, go Gwen. Kind of coming in on live TV and saying, my husband's hiding money from me. He's got, winnings. So I do like that. Not necessarily a twist, but just kind of a nice little ending and a little, oh, well, you're going to get what you deserve kind of thing. I understand they made it all up because, their ratings weren't good, but still, anytime you have a ruse or something fake like that, it's going to affect people, right? It's always going to affect people. So luckily, Mark and Dana weren't, hurt by the reputation or the image, like losing clients or, and it was kind of cute because in the end, they made their own law firm. What I liked was they hired the assistants. So to me, I like that. You know what I mean? You stick with the people that were loyal to you. They were assistants for them at the law firm, and now they work for them as a couple, and they're in their home. So that's kind of nice too. I mean, she's pregnant, but the office is in their house, so she can always kind of come and go and be comfortable, especially now that she's pregnant. So I really like how it ended. So I hope you guys liked the movie as I did. I definitely think it kind of kept you guessing. And I always think that's good. When you're watching a movie, you want to be engaged. I love rom-coms. I also love mysteries. So I love Hallmark. I love the channel. I love their movies. I love their mysteries. So you can always come back and watch one of my reviews on another movie. But I think what I want to do next is go into my Gen rating. So anytime anytime I rate a movie, I always do it on different things. What did I love about the movie? What did I dislike or not like about the movie? Was it believable? And then the last one is the feels. So, what did I like about the movie? I liked that the plot of the movie was a little different. So, I said earlier, I love Hallmark, but a lot of their movies are predictable. But at the same time, that's what we come to watch them, right? They're predictable, but they have that, happily ever after ending that we all love. So no criticism at all. But this movie was a little different because you were anticipating kind of like what's happening next. You know what I mean? How's it going to play out? There's going to be conflict. They're a reality couple. But being able to see it play out, that wild card, which was Gwen, kind of like what she had to say. So I liked that. There was a lot of things that I think were different in a typical Hallmark movie. So for that, I extremely liked that. What did I dislike? Honestly, there's not much that I dislike. I think everybody played pretty well. Not really much I disliked. I mean, they talked a lot about their personal relationship in the movie. I think I would have liked to see, honestly, I think I would have liked to see more of the conflict between the couple. And I mean, I love Lacey. I love Brendan. I love them interacting. But I think with the reality show, I would have liked a little bit more of the fighting in public or maybe pictures of them in the paparazzi more. But overall, I'm just kind of nitpicking here. I really did like it from beginning to end. I liked the suspense of it. Was it believable? So when I say believable, I don't mean realistic. When I say believable, I mean, did I believe the characters? Did I believe that, Brendan Elliott and Lacey Chabert bring those characters to life? Did I believe that Lacey was Dana? Did I believe she really was a lawyer? Did I believe she really had a fear of public speaking? Did I believe that? And I did. I believe the characters. I think Brett and Tabby were great. They really played up that, stuck up, celebrity image. Not that all celebrities are stuck up or have that image at all. But in this movie, that's what they were trying to portray. And I think they did really good. I think Gwen did good. I saw some familiar faces in other Hallmark movies, which I always love to see. So I thought the acting was top notch. And that's when I say believable. When I say believable, I want to believe in a fairy tale world that I can jump into that movie and they're acting it out. Like I believe that there is actually a little town that they're in, and that's what they're doing. So I do believe that they acted very well, and I believe them, that they were a married couple that were lawyers, and I really believed everything that they did. So well done on acting. The feels, when I say the feels, it's just kind of how does it make you feel? Where did you feel good? Did you come out wanting to be a better person? After watching it, did you like it? Did you want to watch it again? Is it one you would recommend to somebody? Did you I liked that it was a little suspenseful. I liked trying to figure it out. What is Gwen going to say? Who's she going to side with? What's this money they're talking about? Is that going to play out? Is it a stunt for publicity? Do they really want to get a divorce, or is it all for show? So I have thought about that, and so I feel like there was a little bit of suspense there. So I definitely think this was a great movie. I would recommend it if you're wanting to look at a movie, or if you follow certain actors and actresses and you're like, oh, I love Lacey, I want to watch that one. I would highly recommend it because it did keep me entertained throughout the whole 2 hours, because I kind of wanted to see how it would end. And I'm a sucker for happy endings. I'm glad she was pregnant at the end, because I was hoping they would lead on to that they were going to have a baby. And I always love it when people, start their own businesses or, start something new. You know what I mean? So I thought it was a wonderful ending. I would definitely recommend it. So for this movie, His and Hers, I would definitely, if I were to rate this, I would definitely rate it 5 Golden Crowns. So that is my rating for this movie, 5 Golden Crowns. So I definitely recommend it. If you're looking to watch a movie, I would recommend this one. So I hope you enjoyed watching it with me. I enjoyed watching with you. And if if you want to like and subscribe so we can watch more movies together, if you have any recommendations, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much to the ones that have subscribed, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.